What's going on, everyone? So let's explore some ideas centered around the Indiana Pacers because that kind of seems to be the word that is coming out that the Lakers are really kind of looking to maybe take Malik Beasley, the number 17th pick, and turning that into Buddy Hield as well as the 26th and 29th pick. But with that, obviously, that trade in and of itself would be pretty nice, right? Whether they get the 26th and 29th or 26th and 32nd or 29th and 32nd, the point is that the Indiana Pacers have multiple first round picks. The Lakers basically get an upgrade in a Buddy Hield. And then on top of that, they still get to keep some picks for this year's draft. The reason the Indiana Pacers would do this is because, again, Buddy Hield is kind of just, it's not that big of a loss, right? And they're probably going to lose him at the end of this year anyway. So at least you are basically moving up in the draft, which has value in and of itself. And on top of that, you have so many first round picks and you already have a roster full of young guys that you're trying to figure out and kind of coordinate. It would make sense for them to kind of consolidate those picks into a better pick in this year's draft, especially with a draft that is projected to be as deep as it is, where at 17, you might be able to get a guy that would have been top 10 otherwise. So there is a lot of value in that. But one of the things that I would kind of like to see maybe present itself or even be rumored, at least at the time of recording this video, I haven't heard anything like this, but could they do the Buddy Hield and Myles Turner deal, but still maintain a pick in this year's draft, right? So the idea and premise is Malik Beasley, 17th pick for Myles or for Buddy Hield and 2 first round picks, right? What if instead of getting the 2 first round picks, you took, Malik Beasley, Mo Bamba, Shaquille Harrison or whatever, you took the 17th pick and then you took the 2029 first round pick, you took those and you packaged that for Buddy Hield, Myles Turner, and maybe like the 26th or the 29th pick. Or could you even throw in a couple seconds, right? Because the Lakers got a ton of second round picks that they could trade, right? They got a bunch for the Denver Nuggets trade for Thomas Bryant. So maybe you could work something to where, yeah, you're not going to get that pick in 2029, which could potentially be a lottery pick, depending on where the Lakers are at. And that was the pick that the Indiana Pacers really valued. They really wanted the 2027, 2029 first round picks because Indiana believed that once LeBron and AD leave, that's basically it for the Lakers. The Lakers are going to be a rebuild mode, and we might potentially get a lottery pick. For the Indiana Pacers side, they would be looking at it in the same light, right? Okay, so we're going to move off Buddy Hield. We're going to take Malik Beasley. Okay, same thing, basically a wash. But we move up in the draft, which again has value. We're moving up in the draft. We're consolidating our picks. We're getting that 17th pick, but also we're basically consolidating our picks for a potential lottery pick in 2029. So if we're really good and we continue on the trajectory that we're putting ourselves in the position in, then we can maybe end up getting a lottery pick later on down the road that we can use as leverage to trade to maybe go get a piece that's the missing piece for us to contend for a championship. Or it's like, oh, we really like this guy. Let's bring him in and add him to the roster. Something like that actually does make a lot of sense for Indiana. And if you're the Lakers, you're in win now mode, right? But the thing is that a lot of people I've seen don't want the Lakers to lose a pick because they really want to kind of keep this youth movement, which is fine. And I completely understand that. But we are in a window of a championship right now, right? We were just in the Western Conference Finals. We are really on the cusp. I don't see any real major groundbreaking moves unless like Joel Embiid ends up going to like the Suns or the Warriors or something. I don't see anything really majorly groundbreaking where it's like, man, like they're going to end up winning it. We don't have a chance type thing. The Phoenix Suns, I don't fully buy. I know they got Bradley Beal and there's that and maybe it works out. But even then, I'm not like, it doesn't really fear me. Like I'm not really concerned about the Suns. Maybe I'm end up with egg on my face when it's all said and done, but I just don't buy it. And so I feel like the Lakers are right there And if they make a couple moves, they could very well be winning the NBA championship. You already have an extremely young core, right? That you have for now and the future that you can continue to grow and develop. You got young guys like Max Christie, got, Scottie Pippen Jr., you got Cole Schwider. And if you could still maintain like the 26th pick or the 29th pick or maybe the 32nd pick, where you're still getting a value pick in this draft, then I think that that's a home run, because now you got the center that you need, that you could want to match up with like a Jokic or something like that. You get a dead-eye shooter in Buddy Hield, and you still get that young piece that makes a lot of sense for the Lakers for the future. So now you get a guy, let's say you can get let's call it the 29th pick, right? Let's meet in the middle, right? Let's say the 29th pick. So you get the 29th pick. You can draft somebody there at 29 towards the end of the draft. That would be great. So now you got that young guy that you can bring in. Maybe he's ready to go, right? Maybe they already have somebody in mind at 29 that they can pick up and add in. And maybe that guy is a guy that can actually contribute, right? Well, now you just got 3 guys that can really contribute. And now you go from, the roster you currently have to upgrading both Malik Beasley and Mo Bamba into Buddy Hield and Myles Turner. So you just got better. And on top of that, now you just got a pick that could maybe help you. Or it's a young guy that you can use to maybe make some moves later on down the road. And if you still get Chris Paul, I mean, you could see how quickly the Lakers could all of a sudden oh, wow, they're the deepest and best team in the league, literally overnight. And for those that might be thinking it doesn't make sense, far-fetched, the Indiana Pacers were ready to trade these two for Russell Westbrook, the 2027th pick and the 2029 pick. Why wouldn't they do the same thing for the 17th pick in this year's draft, which is a really good draft, and the 2029 pick? It's the same thing, right? Even if the Lakers have to throw in a couple seconds or something like that. And you wouldn't have to take on Russell Westbrook's ridiculous contract that you're just going to buy out anyway. You could keep Mo Bamba, keep Malik Beasley, at least for the season, and maybe you see how they work. They're still very young, right? They're both younger than Buddy Hield and Myles Turner. So it gives them some young guys that maybe they can experiment with for the year. Or maybe they, waive Mo Bamba and is non-guaranteed and maybe sign him to a cheaper deal and go, man, he could end up developing into a Myles Turner in a couple years, right? So let's work with him. Let's develop him. We just got a young guy. Maybe they see some value in a Mo Bamba and a Malik Beasley as a younger version of Buddy Hield, right? And they can kind of just, okay, well, we got these young guys, got the 17th pick in this draft that we can now pick a guy that makes sense for us. And on top of that, we got maybe a potential lottery pick in 2029. I think it's about as close to a win-win for both sides. And again, Indiana was ready to do it. The deal was going to get done until Jeannie vetoed it. If Jeannie doesn't veto that trade, Buddy Hield and Myles Turner are already on the Lakers. So I don't think it's that far-fetched to think that they could work this kind of deal out where the Lakers could end up landing both of them and maybe even still keep a pick. Because again, let's say they just trade for the 17th pick, right? Well, now you kind of went backwards. Now you got 4 essential first round picks, right? Because now you got the 17th, the 26th, the 29th, and the 32. Again, I know the 32nd pick is a second round pick, but it's close enough, right? So now you basically got what is the equivalent of 4 guys. Maybe they can make a move. Maybe they can take all those picks and go make another trade for a young, quality, mid-tier guy, something like that they really like. Or they could do what I mentioned, which is okay, well, we'll take the 17th pick. We'll give you the 29th pick or whatever. Maybe we can even swap, give us 2 seconds and we'll give you the 32nd and I don't know, maybe you can work something like that out, right? Where they're okay, well, we'll do this trade. We'll kind of rearrange draft picks. We'll kind of push our draft picks to 2029 and everyone's happy. It's just a thought. Like I said, just exploring stuff, different possibilities. We'll see what ends up happening, but I do think the Lakers end up trading that 7. Anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you like this idea? Do you think yeah, I love it. That's creative enough to work. It's crazy enough to work type thing. again, you get Buddy Hield, Myles Turner, and you still get to keep a first. That could be pretty cool. Do you think, no, it's a little too far-fetched, a little too crazy? Again, if you think that the Indiana Pacers wouldn't do this, they were going to do a deal just like this, but to take on Russell Westbrook's bloated contract. You wouldn't have to do that in this case. So if they were willing to do that, I don't think it's that far-fetched to think that they would be willing to take a couple expiring contracts and kind of rearrange picks, maybe get a potential lottery pick because they really liked the 29th or the 2029 pick, 2027 pick. Just again, kind of something to look forward to. But however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, again, love to hear it. Let me know.